What's up, everybody? You were tuned in to the Cris
And more.
podcast, episode 222, Takeover Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good night, whatever you're doing. You're at home, you're at work. We appreciate y'all tapping into the live stream tonight. Listening on the playback, we appreciate you too. Put a comment in the comments section. We got a lot to get into tonight. College football semifinals is here tomorrow and Friday. We got the NFL Wildcard Weekend. We also got Mars random news today. We're going to talk about a recent firing from a head coach on the NFL that happened. Also, some NBA news happened today, too.
Yep.
Yeah, man, we're going to give our top 10 rankings of who we feel like is the trust, ranking wise, quarterback wise in these playoffs. So, but before we get into all that, Mar, how you feeling, man?
Tired. I feel tired. I'm I'm tired of shit, man. So, CES weekend out here in Vegas, man. We all know how it is. It's the biggest it's one of the bigger conferences to start out the year, man. So overall, man, I'm good spirits, just tired, man. How you feeling?
I'm saying it was busy today. Gonna be busy
Yeah.
tomorrow. So a lot of lounges are busy because CES getting their Perriers and their waters and teas.
Yeah, hopefully. I know a lot of them are leaving tomorrow, so hopefully it's busy but dies down. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay,
At
okay.
least from the people I talk to, a lot of them are leaving like tomorrow morning or like tomorrow afternoon or at night. So, we'll see how it goes. But I'm
How long
excited
they
about
been out
tomorrow.
here?
A lot of them said they've been out here since Sunday. So I know the convention's last day is tomorrow. So I don't know how long that's gonna go on for, but tomorrow should be good, man. Start of college semifinals for college football playoff, man. So I'm excited about that, man. So
For sure, for sure. All right, man. Let's go ahead and talk about it, man. John Harbaugh, he was fired. I think it was yesterday, or was it
yesterday,
yesterday?
yeah, it was
Yesterday.
yesterday. Yep.
John Harbaugh, he was fired yesterday. We kind of speculated, thinking that this was happening. A lot of people speculated that whoever lost that Steelers Ravens, excuse me, Ravens game was going
Good.
to be the. I was choking a little bit. That Steelers and Ravens game, whoever lost that game was going to get let go.
Hmm.
And they end up being the Ravens off the muff kick or the kick right.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Harbaugh, he is no longer with the Ravens. He was with the Ravens for 18 years, which is a very long time to be with one team. And my thoughts on it is, man, I've always felt like, these past few years, I felt like that it was time. It was time. And I feel like that with Mike Tomlin, too. I feel like it was time that, they go their separate ways, part ways. John Harbaugh finds a new space to go to, new beginnings, fresh air, breath of fresh air, probably a new building to go to every day. I think that sometimes when you be in a place for so long, you kind of get stagnant. And you feel like, especially when you're successful for 18 years, for
Hmm.
most of those 18 years, there were some dips some years, but for the most part, John Harbaugh has been very successful at the Ravens. He's been one of the better head coaches in the league, and even in the Lamar Jackson tenure, there was some couple years where it was bad, but outside of that, they've made the playoffs and been one of the better teams in the AFC for the better part of this year, or the years that he's been with Lamar Jackson. But I just felt like it kind of ran stale. I think that both of these two, they had their run, and I just think that Lamar needs a new, fresh voice in his ear, as far as the head coach and the whole team. Period. And I think that John Harbaugh needs to see a new set of men. You know what I'm saying? That he's trying to lead to get to a Super Bowl. And you new teams are going to be lined up to go try to hire John Harbaugh. Who wouldn't want to hire John Harbaugh? He has a track record of success. He's won Super Bowls, and so why wouldn't you want to hire a John Harbaugh? So
Hmm.
um, you're hearing the Giants already trying to line up. Rate your Raiders possibly could be reaching out to him. I'm pretty for sure all the teams, Tennessee Titans, Cardinals, everybody's going to be reaching out. He said that he's going to take a week off. Personally, I think that he's trying to wait to see. Maybe if the Eagles lose this weekend, maybe they let go of Nick Sirianni and go after John Harbaugh instead.
Packers too. Packers too.
Packers too, maybe even the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills lose this weekend to the Jaguars. If they let go of Sean McDermott, maybe they go after John Harbaugh and feel like John can get the best out of Josh Allen. So it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of teams are going to be lined up for John Harbaugh now that he is free. So, what are your overall thoughts of the firing, and where we see John Harbaugh going?
Overall, man, I think it was best for both parties. You know what I mean? I think me and you both kind of agreed that it was kind of just time. I think an 18-year run, I think it's like 18 year, 19-year run that he had with Baltimore, man. I think we don't see those a lot too much anymore. You know what I mean? I just think, man, it was kind of the writing was on the wall, especially with the whole Lamar Jackson situation. You have this whole story come out about, Lamar Jackson and, him sleeping in meetings and him not being prepared. And, I mean, it's just, it just, I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me, especially Lamar Jackson and the magnitude he's been and to that organization, 2-time MVP. I get it. They've had their fumbles in the playoffs, but Lamar Jackson is easily a top 4 quarterback in this league consistently. And low key, he probably should have won the MVP last year. He honestly, let's be real. He should have 3 MVPs. At the end of the day, I think they gave it to Josh Allen because I just think they got voter fatigue with Lamar Jackson. I just think that was the situation right there. So, with Harbaugh, I think he'll find a good spot. I think there's plenty of teams that will be clamoring for John Harbaugh. Hell, I think even Adam Schefter said there's teams who have coaches who've inquired, with his agent about, what's up? Would you be interested in coming and, seeing what's up? And look, I think it's a smart play. Take the week, see what happens with what happens in the Wildcard Weekend. There's a lot of rumors about Matt LaFleur from the Packers being let go if they don't win. You still have. Not saying he would go there, but you still have the Pittsburgh Steelers situation where Mike Tomlin is still a possibility. He could still walk away from that situation. You stated the Buffalo Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles. I still find it hard to believe that Nick Sirianni would get fired. I don't see that, coming off a Super Bowl. But again, the Eagles are a very opportunistic team, with a name like John Harbaugh available. Could they, see what's up? Possibly. I think it would be kind of messed up coming off of you winning a Super Bowl, and I think it would be messed up, but I get it. I understand it. My only reservations, because Cris even texted me yesterday, John Harbaugh to the Raiders. How would you feel, in a sense? And I was like, it's not so much John Harbaugh I have a problem with. It's who he might bring with him. If you're telling me it's John Harbaugh bringing Todd Monken, I'm cool. I don't need that. If he's dead set on having Todd Monken being his OC, I'm good. But if John Harbaugh is open to a Brian Daboll, a Cliff Kingsbury, something like that, my ears are perked up, and I would 100% want that because I think Harbaugh, at the end of the day, I think right now he is probably the number 1 head coach on a lot of teams' lists. I'm sure he's probably number 1 on the Raiders list, but the Raiders, there's some names out there I'm not really happy that they're interviewing, but I get it. They got to go through their process. But Tom Brady,
go ahead and hire Nagy, man.
I don't want to hear Nagy, Vance Joseph. I don't want to hear none of that. If it ain't Mentor, I don't get Vance Joseph. If it ain't Mentor, I understand Brian Flores. I understand the kind of the hesitancy with Brian Flores, and I saw. I don't know if you saw the one with what's my man's name, quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. He kind of talked about the situation what happened with Brian Flores, and it kind of raised some eyebrows, and you kind of understand it from Ryan Fitzpatrick's point of view with just. He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I just think it was. I think he started off good, but then as the years went on, I guess he kind of changed his whole mentality. I think he's learned, especially with. But I get it. We know what happens with Brian Flores coaches that they're going to be a little bit more stickler with things like that. But would I have a problem with Brian?
He comes from the Bill Belichick.
He comes from Bill Belichick.
They're going to be a little tough.
Yeah, but I think they're all. Mike Vrabel was like that. He's like that. It's Brian Flores. We know what's up. But would I have a problem with Brian Flores? No. But again, I said with John Harbaugh, I wouldn't mind it. It's just don't bring Tom Monken with me. But at the end of the day, Harbaugh's going to get a job, and we all know that. It's just a matter of who they want. I know the Giants are trying to go full court press with him. I think there was another team that I think I heard saying they were trying to go full court press with him as well. But I'm sure everybody will. He's just going to take his time, see what happens with the wild card weekend, and I'm sure everything will start heating up by Tuesday. I'm sure. I think he'll have a job by next weekend. Me personally.
Yeah, me too. I do too. I think he'll have a job really soon. I think he's going to be the first domino to drop, and then everybody else will get there. And start
Yeah.
filling in. Who's going to be the head coach of what team. Um, Also, Cliff Kingsbury, he parted ways with the Commanders.
Mhm.
Um, and they said a lot of the players over there were kind of mad that he got let go. They
Yeah, Jaden
said,
Daniels is pretty. I heard he was pretty
but
pissed.
supposedly, and they said it wasn't a Dan Quinn thing. It was more so of the front office thing, getting involved in certain personnel decisions and play calls and stuff like that. That
Mhm.
made Cliff kind of like, all right, I'm good. So, um, I know everybody's having a connection between him and Patrick Mahomes because he coached him in college. And look, I wouldn't be mad at Cliff Kingsbury if he's our OC. I wouldn't be mad at it because it's a new voice, and that's what they need.
Yeah.
That's what they need. And he can
Mhm.
bring some new ideas to Andy Reid. He kind of runs a similar system to Andy Reid, too, anyway. So he'll fit right in with what we do. But I think he'll bring some new innovative ways to jovenate this offense again and get it back to being, a fun offense, not a offense was hard to watch or everything looks hard to do. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't be mad at Cliff Kingsbury whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I know my boy Mar, he hit me up, was like, can I interest you? And at first I was like, man, but then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? He brings some new stuff. He's not a Andy Reid guy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Andy can kind of get close. Like if he hires a Mike Kafka, that's an Andy Reid guy. You know what I'm saying? He comes from Andy Reid. He played under Andy Reid. He was our QB coach before he went off to the Giants. The only thing about Mike Kafka that I do like is that he went somewhere else to learn
Mhm.
from Brian Dayball. You know what I'm saying? And then he's gonna bring some of that over. So I wouldn't be mad at that, but I'd rather have Cliff Kingsbury over Mike Kafka. But what's your thoughts on Cliff? I mean, you kind of gave your thoughts a little bit on Cliff Kingsbury, but what are your thoughts on him? Maybe he gets a head coaching job or gets an OC job somewhere else.
I don't see a head coaching job right now. I see more of a like an OC gig. I think it's interesting, some of the reports we've been hearing coming out of the Commander side, especially with some of the players not being too happy with that situation. So I
Right.
think that's going to be something to kind of look at, going into the off season and going into next year. They better. I'm gonna say this: they better hit it right. With the OC that they're going to bring in, I'm kind of curious to see who they have eyes on, who they potentially could bring in. But with Cliff Kingsbury, I'm sure he's going to have a couple opportunities to
Of
get jobs.
course.
I'm sure my Raiders will be very curious, especially. But we got to see who they hire as a head coach and who they might want to bring in. But I think that's the name. I guess your Chiefs, but I think it would be kind of hard for me to see him go there just with how Andy Reid is so touched on with what he wants with the offense. I don't know if Clint Kingsbury would want that, but I think it's an opportunity. I could see a situation where maybe he goes to the Giants. Obviously, it's going to tell what quarterback is going to be he would want to coach with. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I think the Raiders' job is more intriguing now that we have the number 1 overall pick, and Fernando Mendoza is most likely going to be the guy that will be donning a Raiders jersey. I think the perception of the Raiders job is probably a little bit brighter than it was this time last year. I'm sure we were probably one of the bottom jobs that no one wanted to be around with, but we
Mhm.
all know all that shit changes. The Bears were once a bottom dwelling job. The Commanders was once a bottom dwelling job. And once you get a quarterback, all that perception changes. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
we obviously got to see what happens with a lot of these other teams. Like what's going to happen? Let's say the Packers and Matt LaFleur. What if he gets fired? That could be another OC job, maybe a head coaching job, like you said. That could be an opportunity for them too. But that could be an OC job that could be available. Let's say, the situation with the Bills, they fire their head coach. That could be an opportunity. I think that would be an attractive job for Cliff Kingsbury because you're going to be coaching Josh Allen, one of the top 4 quarterbacks in the league. So it's a wait and see process. Maybe the Baltimore Ravens, he could be the OC for Lamar Jackson. I think that would be an interesting stretch. I think Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels kind of have similar traits. I think that would be something that he can probably look into. He's gonna have a slew of opportunities. You know what I mean? I think him, Clint Kubiak. I think those are gonna be kind of the guys that maybe that. I think Clint Kubiak will be more of the guy I think that would get the head coaching job more so than the Cliff Kingsbury. But you never know. You never know with these guys. So it should be interesting. I wanted to ask you with the hardball. Give me your top 3 destinations you think he should really be intrigued. If you're John Harbaugh, what would be the top destinations you would be more intrigued with?
As far as
just what's currently available right now. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen after this weekend, but just currently what's available right now.
Currently, right now, probably Raiders, because you get to pick your own quarterback and you got all that cap space. And I think Spytech would just let you do your thing because he knows your track record. So I probably say Raiders. I would say Tennessee because they have cap space and they already have a quarterback in Cam Ward. So all you got to do is just add around him on both sides of the football. And so you don't have to worry about picking your quarterback. Now you just got to worry about just putting talent around him on both sides of the ball. And you got $100 and some million in cap space. So
that defense ain't that bad.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not. You just got to add a little bit more on the defensive line and probably and definitely on the offensive line and definitely get another weapons up in that place. And you might be cooking with Cris next year. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that division. You know what I'm saying? I know Jaguars is looking pretty solid, but everybody else in that division is kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what's going to happen with the Colts and their quarterback situation.
Texans and all that. Yeah.
Texans, we don't know if that offense they might be hiring another OC. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fix that offense. So, I think Tennessee would be number 2 for me. And then number 3, I guess you can say the Giants, maybe. I don't know though. I'm not a big fan of the Moore family. I'm just not. I don't think they run things. Now, I mean, I think the other team in New York is worse than them, Woody Johnson. I think he's the
worst. They're terrible. At least with the Giants, you got some talent though. You got a great defensive line. You have great offensive pieces. They just obviously got to get healthy. And I like Jackson Dart. It's just mainly the concussion thing I worry about with him.
And I think as far as personality-wise, I think the personality of the Giants fit Harbaugh to a T. I think he has that Tom Coughlin type of feel to him. The only thing about that is that now you're going to that New York media, and they ain't going to put up. I mean, Baltimore was already not putting up with the shit that, they're losing all the time. But now you're going a step level, and that New York media, they gonna rip you if you don't, produce. Like, you keep bugging up, and like they'll give you a pass your first year because it's like, all right, you was trying to get your system down, but you build a team and they consistently going to the playoffs and winning the division or whatever, and you ain't getting no Super Bowl rings, they gonna rip you up. So that's one thing that made Harbaugh be like, I don't feel like dealing with that shit, man. At least you go to Vegas, you ain't got to deal with that media stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's pretty.
It's not tough out here yet. It's not tough out here yet.
At all. Like, they chilling. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
We're still new to the game.
Even Tennessee, like, the media out there ain't tough in Tennessee. They're just gonna be happy. Hey, we got John Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? The team gonna be, even if y'all make the playoffs and be solid, they're gonna be like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? But that New York media rip them up. So, trying to think.
Well, let me ask you this. What's the job you think he wants to open up? What's the job you think he wants the most to open up and have?
Well, because he's waiting, personally, I think he wants that Eagles or that Buffalo Bills job. I really do. I think with the Eagles, I've never been a Nick Sirianni guy. First and foremost, I think they win in spite of him.
I think a lot of people aren't Nick Sirianni guys. I just think he got bailed out with that Super Bowl last
year. He did, and they were just so. Saquon was so great last year, and in spurts that offense was good as a whole, and that offensive line was way better last year. Defensively, they were on a whole nother level than everybody last year. But I do think that I think Jalen Hurts would respond better to John Harbaugh. I always feel like Jalen Hurts is kind of like, I don't like this dude, but he's my head coach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, he has a facial expression like he don't like nobody, but
he
that's
don't.
just me.
But I think
But
that's It is Jalen's personality. But I really think that he just looks at Sirianni like, oh my god,
yeah,
this is my head coach, bro. Whereas in John is not gonna do that. John ain't gonna do all that bullshit, the dumb stuff that Nick
mhm.
Sirianni does on the sideline and all the showboat. And look, I don't mind a coach having fun. I really don't. I'm not the guy that's like, oh, I want my coach, but no, I don't care about that. Like,
Mhm.
if y'all winning, that's fine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whatever. But I think John Harbaugh would kind of tighten things up over there with the
Mhm.
Eagles. I think that AJ Brown stuff wouldn't happen over there if John Harbaugh is over there. Like,
Oh yeah,
I think he would sit AJ and Jalen like, look, y'all gotta get on the same page, bro. We
yeah.
can't keep having this. Like, what's going on?
I don't even think we get the superstar in this little security guard. I don't think we see him no more. I low key think
Yeah,
like, brother, you
yeah,
gonna be in the background, brother. We don't need you. We don't need
yeah,
you.
yeah. That stuff will be dead. So,
Yeah.
um, but then the Buffalo Bills job, I think, would be intriguing because you get to coach Josh Allen.
Yeah, and you get the new stadium, which is
Mm,
going to open up.
that too.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's one of those two jobs that I think he really wants. I don't think it's the Packers job. I don't think he's waiting on
Mm,
that one. I don't know. Another thing with me is I, I think the Raiders job is very attractive. The only thing that makes me kind of hesitant that he may not want that job is, does he want to face his brother 2 times a year?
he
I don't know
might.
how.
I
He
think
might
he
want
might.
to. He might want to. I don't know what the, like. You know how there are certain brothers that be like,
Mm,
if we can like keep this away until like the Super Bowl or something, then let's do it. But maybe they have that competitive fervor. It's like, you know what, I
yeah.
want that. And if that's the case, then I think the Raiders will be, I think, up there
I honestly think
with
that
the
would
Bills
draw
and the
him to
Eagles.
y'all. I
Me
personally think
too.
that
I kind of think so too.
you get to see his brother twice a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
In a
One
warm
of
weather state, you know what
warm
I mean?
weather
You're in the
state.
dome,
You know what I'm
no state
saying?
taxes. You get $100
Yeah.
million in cap space. You still got Max Crosby on the roster, but you could trade him. And for more draft pick. You have Fernando Mendoza, who is probably highly touted by him and a lot of coaches, especially with his character. It's a little bit different from Lamar Jackson. So, he might be a little bit more,
Mhm.
I might like this kid, you know what I mean? Could give him a little bit more energy.
More of
Yeah,
Joe. He might remind him a little bit of a Joe Flacco type.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, he don't play like Joe Flacco. Hopefully, he's a lot better than Joe
I
Flacco. But
mean, not play wise. I'm talking personality wise.
personality, I think he's a little bit more goofier and funnier than. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I've seen some clips about Joe Flacco. I don't know if it's because he's getting older and he just don't give a fuck no more. But he look a little goofy sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
He do.
you know what I mean? Like, my bad be cheesing on that sideline, not doing nothing. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I think it's going to be very interesting. I think this coaching style is going to be very interesting to see how everything falls into place, and how fast it goes. I feel like nothing's going to happen until after this Wildcard Weekend. And then I think once everything kind of settles after that, then I think the ball is going to get really rolling here by about midweek next week. And I wouldn't be surprised if like Raiders, Giants, and then if it, let's say hypothetically, let's say like the Eagles job becomes available, I could see all those being filled up by next weekend. And then I think the trickle down will go, down to like, Jets, Titans, places like that. You know what I mean? So I think the Raiders job will get. I think the Raiders job is going to be one of the first ones to get filled pretty quick. Me personally, that's just me, but I could be delusional, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Definitely gonna be interesting. I'm just happy
Mhm.
Matt Nagy's ass is about it there, boy.
Not yet. You still got to find a job.
No, I mean, whatever. Good riddance. He out. He ain't coming back to us. I know that.
Oh man.
All right, man. Let's talk NBA, dog, because a big trade went down today. Now we heard that Trey Young, he was working with the team, working with his
Mhm.
agent, trying to find a space. We talked a little bit about it on Monday, and
Mhm.
we were speculating maybe he go to a top contender type team. Well, gonna
Mhm.
find out he wants to go to the Washington Wizards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they made it happen. Today, he got traded to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCollum and Chris Kispert.
Mhm.
Uh, they got traded for those two today to add to Jalen Johnson and Nickel Alexander Walker and Dyson Daniels.
Mhm.
Um, so you're the basketball guy. You're our basketball correspondent.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Trey Young going to the Washington Wizards?
I'll say this, man. I've been curious to know where all this hate for Trey Young has come from. Hearing reports about, players don't like playing with him, even though my man has over 9-10 assists a year per game. I don't know why people expect Trey Young to be this defensive player when we all knew he was never going to be this defensive stopper. He wasn't that in college. We knew he wasn't going to be that in the pros. We knew who he was. He's a top flight scorer who can dish the ball. He'll have his occasions where he can kind of play some team defense, but you shouldn't expect that from him. So I find it weird. But at the end of the day, with this trade, I kind of like it for the Wizards in a sense, because we all know how just in so much turmoil that organization is in. You're hearing stuff about ticket sales being low. I think this will help with just the excitement of Washington Wizard basketball. Like, get back to the old days when it was John Wall, Gilbert Arenas. Just excitement. The Washington Wizards team has had great point guards of the past. Even the old Bullets team has had some really good point guards from the past. The John Walls, the Gilbert Arenas. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been on that track. So I think he kind of fits that mold. I think it'll bring some excitement back. You got some great young talent on there. You got Bub Carrington. I like Bub Carrington. You got Justin Champagnie. You got Bilal Coulibaly. You got AJ Johnson, Trey Johnson. You still got Chris Middleton. You might be able to trade that expiring contract. You got Alex Sarr. So you got some young talent. I like Cam Whitmore, even though I know there's been some stuff with him on the back end, but I like him as a talent. I think it could be something. Get some exciting basketball back in that building and in that arena. For the Hawks, like, look, we all know those two contracts are more for just expiring purposes, especially that CJ McCollum trade, CJ McCollum part of the trade. But look, man, there's more rumors about them trying to trade Anthony Davis, and maybe they can use that CJ McCollum to, help out with the books with that. Obviously, you're going to probably have to trade a young asset to get Anthony Davis. Obviously, you still got the whole situation with Kristaps Porzingis. Hopefully, I know he's dealing with his situation with POTS and stuff like that. And, it's a very serious condition. That's why he's been kind of in and out of the lineup. So hopefully they can figure out that situation. But at the end of the day, it was a trade that needed to be made. I just think it was just too much turmoil, right or wrong, for Trey Young. It'll be a great, breath of fresh air for him. And, we'll see how it works, man. I'm going to be very excited to see him. He seemed like he was in good spirits today on the sideline. He was with his teammates for the whole game. I think he even got traded during the game. He pretty much stayed. So it seemed like he was in good spirits. Hopefully we see him playing in the Wizards jersey sometime this weekend. And hopefully that crowd will be excited to see him. And I think it'll be good for him and for the Hawks organization. Both sides move forward, and hopefully it'll be good for both parties.
Okay. What do you see the future for the Wizards going forward?
Obviously, I think they just need to find a good culture. Obviously, they have some young talent on their squad that I do like. They just need to find a sense of direction. The Wizards, the roster construction was a little weird. Like, look, you had CJ McCollum, you had Chris Middleton, you got these young guys, this young talent, but it just kind of wasn't meshing. I think you had a lot of two guards that were kind of playing point guard. It was just kind of weird. And I think with Trey Young, I think he's a more youthful guard compared to a CJ McCollum. I think CJ McCollum is a little old in the tooth, especially now for his age, no disrespect. But I think Trey Young will fit a little bit better. Obviously, they're going to have their defensive, liabilities and stuff like that. But again, I think they'll have a high draft pick going into next year, going into this draft. And I think if they can get like a nice, big or a nice swingman or somebody that can, pair up well with Trey Young, I think they can, especially in the East. Like, all it takes is a couple moves, and they potentially could be one of those teams that could surprise people and make it to a play-in spot or something like that. Maybe even to a 6th spot, because we all know the East ain't that deep, so it's not going to really take that much roster construction to put them in that situation. And I've seen Trae Young be able to do it with the Hawks. You know what I mean? He's a killer, man, when it comes to these big time games. And that's somebody you're going to need to close out a lot of these games. And the Wizards didn't have that. Now they have that. And hopefully he could just mesh with these players. Like, do I believe that these players hated Trae Young? I don't know. I'm not in these locker rooms and stuff like that. You hear the reports, but I find it harder to believe. I don't know his personality. Maybe it might be his personality that might rub people the wrong way. It could be that, but we'll have to see, man. Hopefully he meshes well with that locker room, man. And I'm rooting for Trae. I've always been a big fan of Trae. So,
and what does this mean for the future of the Atlanta Hawks?
Obviously, they got great talent. I just think they need to find that one guy that can take them over the hump. Like, Jalen Johnson is amazing. I like him. Like, I think LeBron James even said it best. He could be like a Scottie Pippen type, and I totally agree. You know, I think he's probably a better scorer than Scottie Pippen. But I think with him, you got the likes of what's my man's name? You got like Nickeil Alexander. You got Dyson Daniels. I think you got a great foundation. Obviously, you got to figure out what you want to do with Kristaps. Like, it's not his fault with what his ailments have been going through. I think he would have been a nice fit. I think that was just kind of one of the issues. We never saw Trae Young. We never saw the full roster play together fully with Kristaps Porzingis and Trae Young. I think that could have been, something to see. But I think they're gonna have to figure it out. Is Anthony Davis the answer? I don't know. Like, I love Anthony Davis, but we got to stop kidding ourselves and thinking like he's capable of. He barely can play 5 games in a row. like you're pretty much going to trade an injured center for another injured center with Kristaps Porzingis and Anthony Davis. It's like I don't understand how that benefits you. Like, obviously, if Anthony Davis is healthy, can he help this team? Yeah, absolutely. He will probably fit a little bit better than Kristaps Porzingis. But again, can Anthony Davis stay on the court? I think that's the biggest problem. I think he can't do that with the Mavericks. He couldn't do that with my Lakers. He couldn't do that when he was younger with the Hornets. So why do you expect him to be able to do that now with the Atlanta Hawks? Is he the fit? I don't know. Are you willing to pay him a max contract for the next 4 years? I wouldn't be able to stomach that with Anthony Davis. I'm sorry, I couldn't do that, especially where he's at in his career. So if that's what they want to do, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm always root for Anthony Davis. But I just know the reality of that situation. I just can't see it. I just prove me wrong with your health, brother. That's all I'm saying. If you could do that, then yeah, absolutely. I think the Atlanta Hawks can easily be East contenders for sure if they make that trade. I think they could easily compete with the Knicks and the Pistons, and the Pistons look damn good. Watch out! Look, if they can get Michael Porter Jr. to help out with Cade Cunningham,
that's the trade that they're talking about.
Yeah, that's kind of the trade they're kind of talking about. Obviously, the Lauri marketing stuff is kind of cool because I think the Jazz just want too much. But look, if you can add Michael Porter Jr. has been hooping. Like, look, I may not like some of the stuff that be coming out of his mouth. He be saying some idiotic things, but that boy can play some ball. You know what I mean? Like, and if
you look like his relationship choices ain't too bad either.
Yeah, man, nobody ain't on him. But look, I think if you add him, because it can help the scoring relief off of Cade so much. Like, Cade don't have to be the scorer for the heavy scorer. Like, he can get some help with Michael Porter Jr. a lot. Michael Porter Jr. is a true scorer, and then obviously he's not the best defensive player, but you have the background with Jalen Duren and the rest of those guys that can help out. So I think that's a trade you got to watch out for. If they can find a way to pull that off and not give away too much assets, Pistons will probably be my favorite in the East, but. Obviously, we can't sleep on the Celtics. Celtics been hooping. Jaylen Brown, he's definitely MVP category right now. If they could get Jason Tatum back, gotta watch out for the Celtics too.
They win tonight.
Yeah, I think they won tonight. They beat the Nuggets tonight. No, they lost. I think the Nuggets won. My bad. Nuggets won. That's my. Is
Nikola? He hurt, ain't he?
He's hurt. Yeah, he probably won't be back until probably a little bit before All-Star weekend. So we're not gonna see him until February.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. What happened to your Lakers tonight, man?
Listen, man. No LeBron.
Y'all never together. Damn.
No LeBron, man.
Nobody's ever healthy.
LeBron can't play back-to-backs. He don't want to play back-to-backs because he's 41 years old. We still ain't got
Jeez.
Austin Reeves. The DeAndre Ayton experiment is kind of just
Trash.
I'm kind of over it. Like he's playing lackadaisical again. He getting in his feelings, acting like he need to get the ball more. When it's just like, bro, just play ball. Just play ball. This is one of the reasons why you almost are out the league, because you just go through these spells where you look like you just don't care. Luka Doncic can only do so much. I know he's kind of battling his calf injuries and stuff like that. JJ Redick, there's been a lot of conversations about him and maybe how he goes about and calling his players out, and can that be a little bit too fatiguing, and could he lose the locker room if he continues to be the way he is? Like, we all know JJ Redick is a very strong, vocal minded guy. He's not gonna sugarcoat anything. And could that burn a team out? It's a possibility. We will find out. He could be like, JJ Redick could literally be the Brian Flores of the NBA. You know what I mean? Like, it could be that situation where he could be ultra talented. I think JJ Redick is an ultra talented coach. I think he's a very smart basketball player, but his personality could rub people the wrong way and burn people out, and he can burn some bridges. So that's something to look out for. But I don't know. We'll see, man. I'm always going to hold out hope with my team. Hopefully we can get healthy, man. We still got the trade deadline, figure some stuff out, man. But, we'll see. We'll see,
For sure. All right, man. Look, I saw this earlier today, and because it's around the business that we're in, we work in casinos. So I saw this clip from this podcast earlier. This guy, I've followed him before. He was on this podcast called the Green Room Podcast, and they were talking about the future of casinos in Vegas and how he feels like they're in trouble. Mm-hmm. I'm going to play this clip, and then we'll discuss.
And what's crazy is Vegas is in a little bit of trouble, and nobody wants to talk about it. This next generation doesn't gamble.
Ooh.
Like the gambling generation is
almost over.
It's almost over.
Yeah, it is.
This generation doesn't gamble. We don't know how to play craps. They don't know how to do anything. A couple people play blackjack, poker, but that doesn't make the casino real money playing poker, right?
Yeah.
So we got a generation that don't do slots, none of that. Yeah. So that's why you see a lot of casinos like Durango Station. They got more restaurants than there is gambling in there.
That is true.
That's so true.
Yeah. Durango Station kills it on food, right? That's their whole. That's their.
Well, not only that,
I love their food there.
They're getting away even from the point system. Yeah. They're not point matching at a lot of casinos anymore. Mm-hmm. It's really bad.
Or the incentives, like when you sign up.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
No, they started, man, all the good stuff about Vegas. Being able to sit at a machine at a bar and get comp drinks if I'm playing. They took away all the good shit, man.
Wait, you can still do that when you play at the slots. You still get comps.
Behind the counter, they have a tracker of how much money you're playing.
Oh yeah, you have to spend a certain amount.
Yeah. So you have to hit a certain amount before they give you a comp drink.
And where's that waitress? You're lucky you see her in an hour if you're at the sitting down playing.
Lucky. All right, I'll give away a Vegas secret here.
He talked about something else, but how did you feel about that conversation, man? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I don't agree with him on the Durango thing. You walk into Durango, there's hella fucking goddamn slot machines. I don't know what he talking about, but do I think casinos have an identity crisis? I guess they do. Yeah, they do. You know what? I don't think they have an identity crisis. I just think the way they go about it, the corporate side of it just doesn't know how to run a casino. Mm-hmm. I think that's the reality of the situation. Do our generation like to gamble? They do. We see them sports bet all the goddamn time.
That's what I was
young,
thinking.
old, all that. So I don't think the gambling aspect of it is different. I think people like to gamble regardless. I think people like to take chances with their money. We see it all the time. I just think that they hit the money on certain spots when they're talking about just the comping and stuff like that. Like it's a little bit less generous in a sense with the comping. Like you don't feel like you get more bang for your buck. Like everything, it seems like it's a nickel and dime situation with these casinos. They get you with the parking, they get you with the hotel fee, they get you with just the excess amount. They upcharge on drinks and food, and obviously the streamlining with. Obviously they're not even. Let's be real, man. A lot of these casinos aren't even fully staffed. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them hotels, they don't want them cocktail waitresses to go out there every 10, 15 minutes. They say they do, but in reality, they don't want to waste product on people that ain't gambling. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I just think it's a lot to do with how a lot of these casinos are ran nowadays compared to how it was in the olden days. Will all that change? I don't know. I think Vegas does need to find a new identity in how they handle certain situations with guests. I think they need to be a little bit more gracious with the guests. I think they need to find a happy medium with how much they charge stuff and hotel room rates. And I think they need to get back to actually, with these memberships that they have, like actually get back to, like, yo, you spend some money, we're gonna take care of you. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff that they can do, they can easily do it. They just choose not to do it because they're so much focused about the numbers and how much they can save and how much they can make. But sooner or later, once the water is dry, it's dry. You know what I mean? And a lot of people aren't gonna be able to spend, especially in the economy we have today. Like, you know what I mean? Things are expensive. Like, you have grocery bills that are astounding. Like, you talk to some people. I talked to my homegirl with a family of 4. She easily pays almost $1,000 a week for groceries. Just how expensive it is. We're not including how much insurances, we're not including health premiums and how much that has cost and expenses, school, daycare, automobiles, cell phone bills, energy bills. Like, just living day to day is very fucking expensive. And I don't think these casinos have adapted yet. I think they're still living in the times of when, when we just opened back from COVID and people had, grands in their bank account. All that shit is gone. You know what I mean? Like, people are struggling now. You know what I mean? People are in credit debt now. People, are losing jobs right now. Like, it's kind of what it is. And I just think Vegas needs to learn how to adapt more. And I think back in the day, they used to be able to adapt like that. Obviously, the economies back in the day were a little bit better, but I feel like casinos knew how to adapt. And I think Vegas has went too corporate. That's just kind of my opinion.
I think that there are three. I think Vegas casinos are divided in 3 pies. I think it's Strip, which speaks to what you're talking about. They're all corporate. Yeah. Everything on the Strip is corporate now. There's no Steve. I mean, there's the Wynn, but there's no Steve Wynn who ran everything. Like,
there's no Kirk Kerkorians no more. There's none of that no more. Yeah.
There's none of that. You know what I'm saying? Everything is you're the MGM Mirage or your
Caesars Entertainment.
Yeah.
Or Valley, or whatever it's called now.
Yeah. So it's all corporate on the Strip. Then you go downtown, which is a little bit more personal. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Derek Stevens. He runs a lot of stuff down there. And then it's not as corporate as it is on the Strip. It's way different downtown, the casinos down there. But then you got the local casinos, the Red Rock, the Durango, you know what I'm saying, Santa Fe, the Aliantes, the
Green
those
Valley,
places,
stuff like
Green
that.
Valley, yeah, Sunset, Suncoast, something like that, South Point, you know what I'm saying? Those are more local casinos, so they're run differently.
And they're killing it. They're killing it. I think Stacey's casinos are killing it right now.
They are. You know what I'm saying? You go to Santa Fe still now. Santa Fe been around forever, and it's still cracking up there. Because
Durango's cracking. Durango's cracking.
Red Rock still cracking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Those local casinos are way better because they're more for the locals. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get the point system they was talking about. You're gonna get that at the station casinos. You're gonna get that even at Boyd Gaming. You know what I'm saying? When you go to those casinos. So I just think it's broken up. Like if you're trying to get that from the Strip, they're not good because it's already ran by corporations. Corporations only care about bottom line. That's all they care about. They care about the bottom line. I don't agree with him about the people not gambling no more. Young people don't gamble. Yes, they do. They still gamble. I still see young people at the crap table.
They're still degenerates, brother. They may not be in the casinos, but they gambling on computers. They're gambling on their phones. They're sports betting. Like, I just think that's the case, man. I like
and they still give you one comp drink. Now they do have, if you're sitting at the bar, now they have this thing where you got to spend.
It monitors. It monitors. Yeah,
it turns red, and then once it turns green, then they give you a drink. Give you another comp drink because they was getting tired of the trying to like, oh, how much you spend? How many? Like the machine tells me, oh, you ain't spending enough. So, but that's all corporation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that just kind of kills the natural effect of, just the personability with, you and your bartender, or you and your waitress, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like they would be kind of like the judges of that. And it just doesn't, situations like that, people don't want to feel like they're on the clock. You know what I mean? They want to feel welcome. They want to feel like, you know what I mean? Like they're actually worthy of their time. Not like, we're stuck on this time frame where if I don't put a bill in for the next 5 minutes, then I got to get punished for that. You know what I mean? So, and then it's just like those machines don't take into account that I spend $300 just 2 hours ago and it was no issue. You know what I mean? Or I spend like 5,000 or 10,000. Like, you know what I mean? Like it makes it difficult. And then look, at the end of the day, just like with this economy right now, it's favored to the people that spend big money. You know what I mean? Like if you still spend big money, you're still gonna get those benefits that we used to see back in the day. Now those middle class people and those and the lower class people who don't spend as much money, you're not gonna see those benefits. So it's gonna make it seem like, you know what I mean? Like you don't feel like you get the bang for your buck. Like at the end of the day, it's the rich get richer, poor get poorer. That's the way it is. You know what I mean? You spend more money, you're gonna get treated like fucking royalty. You know what I mean? If you don't, you're gonna be looked at as like, we don't care about you. And that's just kind of the way the world is right now, especially in American society. And that's how these casinos are treated. That's just the reality of the situation. It's kind of like you either fit in or get lost. And we don't care. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, these casinos are just going to assume you're going to come back. You know what I mean? Like, they're just going to assume like, oh, they'll be back. You know what I mean? They'll come back. People love Vegas, and you keep having that assumption, Look, there's other cities that are trying to establish casino life, and others. You got places in California. You got New York trying to establish some stuff. You got stuff in the South with, Louisiana and Mississippi and Texas and all that. And obviously nothing like that will ever compare to Las Vegas. But you got the likes of like overseas in Macau. They got a mini Vegas out there. Hell, it might even be just as good as ours. You know what I mean? Like, so, the international travel ain't as popping as it used to be. And I'm sure a lot of that has to go with the politics that is going on in today's world as well. I'm sure that shit doesn't help as well. But I think Vegas should us as citizens that live out here, should we be worried? I think we should keep our eyes on it. I'm not saying it's like DEFCON 5 right now, but I think we should definitely keep a close eye on just what's happening in Vegas. Like, but at the end of the day, we see all these content creators or fake content creators trying to say like Vegas is dead. Vegas ain't dead. Like, obviously, I could be oblivious because of the casino I work in. Like, our casino is cracking and it's popping, and luckily we work in a casino that is one of the top tier casinos on the strip. Now, how it is in some of these other casinos, I do not know. But at least from what I've seen, it seems like we've been cracking. When I drive up and down the strip, it looks busy to me. So, don't get these fake content creators who wake up at 4 a.m. and try to walk on the strip acting like Vegas is dead. Nah, these motherfuckers is asleep. Now, you go walk out there on the 4th of July weekend or Memorial Day weekend or this time of the year when we have all these conventions, when the pools is open. Like, you come and tell me if Vegas is dead. I think traveling as a whole is down just because people aren't making a lot of money. I don't care where it is, if it's Vegas, New York City, San Francisco, LA. Like, people just ain't got the money to spend that kind of bread no more. You know what I mean? And it just makes it a lot harder. And it just kind of is what it is. Like, it's getting to the point where it might be cheaper to go overseas in certain aspects right now. So I think it's just down as a whole. I think once, hopefully, when stuff starts getting back to normal and economies can start being refocused on, and we can start, actually doing stuff to help the economy, then I think you'll start seeing things better. Like, everything's an ebb and flow. Things are going to go down. Things are going to come up. It's kind of the way the world is. So hopefully things start trending upwards. How soon? I don't know. I already know when stuff is going to start trending upwards, but we got a couple years before that. So just kind of hold on tight. And you know what I mean? If at the end of the day, hopefully we all have jobs. And once Agent Orange gets out of office, then hopefully things can start getting back to normal. So it's kind of the way it is right now.
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The pandemic, it took, the casino business took a hit with the pandemic, and I think they're starting to climb back from the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to really, really, really get flowing.
I think they've been fine though. Like they were hitting records every goddamn month when we came back from the pandemic. Like, we were closed down for 4 months, but I feel like they recouped all that money within 3 with all the amount of money people were spending. You know what I mean? Like, I think they are, man. I just think these casinos, man, they like to play like they don't make no bread and they need to save money and this and that. But in reality, they just got to appease the people that's on them governing boards and chairman boards, and they got to get their bread. And I get it, but I think there's so much money that everybody can eat. You know what I mean? Especially how much these casinos bring in every day. Like it's insane numbers, man. So, at the end of the day, I think we'll be fine. We just got to get through these tough times and everything will go back to normal.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
Shout out to Magnet Sports Drink. All right, man, let's go ahead and pick these college football playoff semifinals, dog.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Tomorrow we got the Fiesta Bowl. Miami facing Ole Miss, number 10 Miami versus number 6 Ole Miss. In Glendale, Arizona, State Farm Arena. Look, man, this is going to be an interesting game to watch. I think this game comes down to, can the Miami defensive line affect Trinidad Chompers? Mm-hmm. If they can affect him and make him turn the football over, Miami has a really good chance to win this game. And if Carson Beck, can he eliminate not messing it up like he did against Ohio State? They got to figure that out, though. You know what I'm saying? They got to make sure they got to be mistake free, and they can't let this be a shootout. If they end up being a shootout, they're gonna lose. But can Ruben Bain put together another performance? Can Mesidor put together another performance like they did against Ohio State to affect Trinidad Chalmers? But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Chalmers is going to have another good game. I think that running back Lacey is going to have a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. I ain't saying it's going to be a blowout, but I got Ole Miss winning 35-27.
Yeah, like everything you said was correct. Honestly, it really comes down to can Carson Beck actually perform? Can he actually perform the way he did earlier this year? You know what I mean? Like this is the Carson Beck that needs to show up for Miami to have a chance. I think Miami's defense can keep this game contained, but there's going to be moments where I think Carson Beck needs to capitalize. You know what I mean? I think this defensive line can get some pressure on this Ole Miss offensive line. Ole Miss offensive line isn't like the greatest in the world or anything like that. Like we saw, I think Ohio State's offensive line was way better than what Ole Miss has. So I think they can get some pressure on Chambliss. I think they can also maybe get a couple turnovers and stuff like that. I do love the running attack that Miami could bring. But again, this Ole Miss team is very, very explosive. This defense is underrated to a degree too. I think they can make some plays as well. I'm gonna go with Ole Miss as well. I just don't have no confidence that Carson Beck can match what Chambliss can do. So I'm gonna go with Ole Miss. I think we get like a 27-24 style game. But yeah, it's gonna come down to Carson Beck. Can he make the big plays when needed to be to give Miami an actual chance, and obviously give Miami's defense an actual break and rest so they can actually perform the way that they're capable of performing, because as intense as they go, man, they're gonna need some chances to breathe a little bit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure. Then we got Friday. We got the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. We got number 5 Oregon versus number 1 Indiana. We all know Indiana is coming off of a great win over Alabama. We got Oregon coming off a big win over Texas Tech. This is another game. I think it's some implications on this game. I do think that if Dante Moore performs well, regardless of win or lose, I do think that if Dante Moore performs well, this is going to determine if he's going to enter the draft or not. If he has a bad game, I think he ends up going back to work and playing another year with Oregon. But I think if he plays well, win or lose, I do think he enters the draft. And I do think, I'm not saying that you guys are not going to pick Fernando Finoza, but I do think it will be a slight conversation, the possibility that Raiders do pick Dante Moore, especially if he plays well. Because I do think that you might see a bigger upside with Dante Moore. So I do think that there's a lot riding on this game. But I'm going to go with Indiana. I just think this team is destined to go to the national championship. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, actually. I do think that. And I'm going to go with Indiana 31-28.
Obviously, the potential of 2 quarterbacks that are vying for the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very, very intriguing matchup. I still think Mendoza is the better quarterback currently right now. Now, could the potential of Dante Moore be better? Yeah, but there's still certain things I got to see more from Dante Moore. The consistency, not the ball not turning over. You know what I mean? Like I have seen him make some NFL throws. I'm leaning towards more of him staying, but again, the opportunity to be a top 2 pick, I think is there for the taking for him. Could he get back to the same level next year? Possibly, but it's going to be a lot tougher, especially with the amount of quarterbacks that are going to be coming out next year. So they're going to be even more strict on who they want to pick with the amount of quarterbacks. So I think most likely, my personal view with Dante Moore is come out. This might be your best opportunity to be a top 2 pick. Now, ready or not, I think that organization, whoever does pick him, i.e. the Jets, they're going to have to do right by him. Now, can the Jets do that? I don't know. We've never seen it before. So good luck. I don't know if he wants to get drafted by them or not. I know there's rumors that he doesn't want to get drafted by the Jets, but at the end of the day, it's an honor to be drafted by any team in the NFL just with the opportunity. So I think go ahead and take it. But to get back to the game, I just think that Indiana's offensive line is the best unit on that field. And if the Oregon Ducks cannot get no pressure on Fernando Mendoza, he will carve this team up. Fernando Mendoza ain't the Texas Tech quarterback. This is a whole new level of game. That running back core that Indiana has is really, really good. That defense might be the best defense left in the tournament. So I'm going Indiana. I don't even think it's close. I think the familiarity with them and playing early in the year, I think for the most part, I think Indiana dominated that game for the most part. Don't worry about that score. For the most part, Indiana looked like the better team, and they've gotten better. You know what I mean? They've got more experience. They got more confidence and healthier too. So, I'm going to go with Indiana. I'm going to go, let's go 38-21.
For sure. All right, man. Should be some good games this week, man. Hopefully, we get some barn burners this week. You know what I'm saying?
And don't hold our feet to the fire because we've been wrong every damn game.
Hey, man, everybody been wrong.
Indiana game.
Everybody been wrong, man.
Yeah. So.
All right, man. Let's do our BetUS Sure Fire Picks, man. All right, man. What you
got? So for tomorrow, I like the Miami Ole Miss game to go under 52. For some reason, I like that, and I still think Ole Miss win that game, as duly stated. But if they keep the under, I think it gives Miami a good chance. I also like the Timberwolves tomorrow -3 against the Cavaliers. I just think the Minnesota Timberwolves have been playing very, very well, and I do like that. And then I also like the Dallas Mavericks -7.5 over the Utah Jazz. Book that.
For sure. I like Ole Miss +3.5 against the Miami Hurricanes. I like Indiana -3.5 over Oregon. I also like the over 45.5 Bears and Packers. I like the Jags +1 over Buffalo. I like the Eagles on the money line, and I like the Patriots -3.5. So you go to any of our social media websites. You can see the link for the BetUS website. Go ahead and click on that. Sign up. You get 125% sign-in bonus plus 10% gambler's insurance because they got other things on the website. That means you get 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits of $100 up to $5,000. That means if you bet $100 on your first 3 deposits and you lose, you keep your money. So you can win some money or you can keep your money on your first 3 deposits. So go over there, sign up, tell them Cris Lamont sent you. And that does it for our BetUS Sure Fire Picks. All right, man. Let's do our AFC East offseason needs. We did the NFC on Monday. So let's do the AFC. I'm going to run through this real quick. Miami, they need a quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do with Tua, but they need a quarterback. And I don't think Quinn Ewers is the answer. So I don't know what they do. Maybe they stick it out with Quinn Ewers one more year and then go into 2027 with the mindset of we're going to get our quarterback there. But they need a quarterback. I think they need some more defensive back help back there. I like Mika Fitzpatrick back there, but I do think they need another corner to help him out. And they need defensive end help because they traded away Jalen Phillips. I don't know what they're going to do with Bradley Chubb. They might let him go because his contract. And he's getting older, so they might want to get younger at defensive end, maybe even defensive line. I know they signed, I think it's Sizer. I know they re-signed him, so they're definitely going to have to get younger on the defensive end side. And whatever they do with Mike McDaniels, hey, maybe this is another spot. Maybe Stephen Ross sees John Harbaugh out there, and he's like, maybe I'll try to throw some money at him. You know what I'm saying? So, but if Mike McDaniels is still there, which we all expect, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next year and some of the personnel decisions they make. But quarterback is definitely on top of the list. Buffalo, a lot riding on this weekend to me. I think a lot riding, period, in these playoffs. But are they going to have Sean McDermott next year? And all it determines if they make the Super Bowl to me. They don't make anything less than the Super Bowl. Sean McDermott is out of there. Personally, I think so. If they keep him, then they're going to keep doing the same thing over and over. We'll talk about the NFC North another time. But Bengals, I don't know what the hell y'all was doing. But it's going to be the same situation. Maybe a lot more success, but than the Bengals, but same thing. Sean McDermott is going to be the same mundane thing. They get to the divisional round, maybe the AFC championship game, and they possibly lose. Me and Maul have talked about it nausea how this is their best chance to get to the Super Bowl. And if they don't do it this time, it ain't going to happen. Not with this coaching regime, at least. You know what I'm saying? Now, we talked about John Harbaugh possibly going here, and maybe that happens. But even still, if they don't get over the hump this season, I don't know when. They definitely need defensive line help. They've drafted defensive linemen and they've been solid. They're okay, but they're not game changers. And they need a game changer on that defensive line to help out on that defense. And to help out in the run game too, because they've been soft to me personally. And Sean McDermott is supposed to be a defensive-minded guy. They let go of Leslie Frazier, and I feel like the defense has gotten worse since Leslie Frazier has left. So, and they need a corner. I like Benford. I think that's all they got. I like Maxwell. What's his name? Harrison.
Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky. Yeah,
but he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah,
he can't stay healthy. So if he can stay healthy, then yeah, the kid got speed. He's got coverage skills, but can he stay on the field? So I think they need a cornerback and definitely need a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver one, a guy who could take over the game. They've had ample opportunity to go get other wide receivers, and they just refuse to do it. They just want to put so much on Josh Allen. You got a top tier running back at James Cook, but you continue to run him to the ground, you ain't gonna have too many good years out of him. So they definitely need a number one wide receiver to open up this offense. So that's how I feel about Buffalo. Jets, man, they need everything. They need a quarterback. They need wide receivers. They need defensive linemen, corners. They need everything. They just need an overhaul of stuff. They got the picks. What they gonna do with it? And hopefully Aaron Glenn can put his imprint on this team the way he wants it. Woody Johnson doesn't, interfere or anybody else. Just let my man Aaron Glenn work. Now, if it don't work, then he'll get fired. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let my man put his imprint on this team, and hopefully the Jets can, possibly get some remnants of success over it. You know what I'm saying? Because they just been at the bottom of the pits for long. And then the Patriots, just add and build to what you've already done this season. You got your quarterback, you got your franchise quarterback. We all know Drake May. Drake May possibly can win the MVP this year. So you got your all-star, all-pro quarterback this year. You got your running game is probably one of the best in the business. I would add probably a wide receiver to this wide receiver group. But Stephon Diggs has kind of found the fountain of youth, and he's looked really good. I like Kyle Williams. I think we'll see how he looks in year 2. We'll see what happens with Mac Hollins. And his defense is really good. I do think they need to add a little bit more juice on the defensive line to be more consistent. I do like the back end. I like, Christian Gonzalez is one of the best corners in the league. Maybe you add somebody else on the other side of him. But I just keep building. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's going to be interesting next year is they're going to have a first place schedule. And we're going to see how they look next year, how teams have, adapted to Drake May, how he's can take his game to the next level, to take this Patriots team to the next level. So just add to what they already got.
Yeah. I'll start off with the New York Jets. Like, look, I agree with you. I just think they need a whole culture change with the New York Jets, from head coach all the way down to the lad to the kicker. They just need a whole new identity, a whole new culture starter. There's a lot of stuff they need to rebuild, man. I think they should consider trading Garrett Wilson, maybe some of their pieces, add some more draft capital so they can really fulfill this whole rebuild. You know what I mean? I just think give Garrett Wilson the actual opportunity to win somewhere. And there's youthful receivers that are coming into this league for the next couple of years that I think they could take swings on. Just restart everything, man. Rebuild it from the bottom up. The New England Patriots, look, just continuously keep doing what you're doing. Keep building around Drake May. I think they got a lot of great starters there. Obviously, I would love for them to just need a receiver. All these. I was gonna say that they do need a receiver. Obviously, like the Stephon Diggs situation, like Brother got to stop choking people. Brother got to stop cheating on Cardi. Like he just got to chill, man. He got to chill. I like what Kendrick Bourne has been doing this year. I do like that. But if you could find an upgrade, if you could find a talent like a Jackson Smith and Jigba type, like if you can get something like that, then obviously do that. I think they're set at the running back situation. I think their defense is one of the best. Just keep adding to what you got. I think they're heading in the right direction. They got a great foundation with what they have. Just keep adding it. Don't mess it up. Protect Drake May. He seems like he's progressing very, very well. Next up, the Miami Dolphins. Look, man, you got to figure out the Tua situation. You got to figure out the Tyreek Hill situation. You need to figure all that out. It seems like Mike McDaniel has had these guys playing a little bit harder, especially towards the end of the year. Now, can they solidify that quarterback situation? Can they solidify the defensive coordinator situation? The offensive line? What are you going to do with some of these pieces? We'll have to see. But I think that should be one of the big things that they need to consider. Is just obviously finding their quarterback for the future, whether it's identifying somebody this year or identifying somebody in the draft next year and just gearing up for that. And then last but not least, the Buffalo Bills. I agree with you. This weekend is huge for them and the Sean McDermott era. If they do not win, Sean McDermott will be fired. I just think it's time. I just think if you cannot win in a situation where you do not have Lamar, you don't have to deal with a Lamar Jackson. You don't have to deal with a Patrick Mahomes. The two guys that have been the kryptonite. And Patrick Mahomes, the two guys that have been some of your kryptonite for the playoffs, especially Patrick Mahomes, it's clear as day. Like, I know the Jaguars are playing very, very well. Hell, they're probably the better team compared playing right now. But at the end of the day, there's no more excuses for Josh Allen. There's no more excuses for Sean McDermott. This is the bed that you guys laid in. It's time to show up. Your front office decided not to give Josh Allen any more receiving help. All right, you guys love this roster. Make it work. Like, you don't play Keon Coleman no more, so I don't know what's up with that situation. Obviously, they got to figure that out. But as far as future stuff, man, obviously they got to fix stuff on this defensive line. They need to fix some stuff in the linebacking core and cornerback situation. Obviously, their cornerbacks, they actually been playing pretty well. I'm not even gonna mess up.
Well, they got one of the top.
Yeah, they got one of the top.
Pass defense.
Yeah. So, I'm not gonna say, obviously I wouldn't mind them upgrading certain parts on it, but they're playing very, very well right now. Obviously, the key thing for them is just adding another wide receiving weapon and obviously some defensive pressure help. But besides that, gear up to open up this wildcard weekend and win, and gear up to hopefully you can produce some stuff. And if not, hey, you might have John Harbaugh as your coach opening up your new stadium going into next year. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's do our quarterback playoff rankings.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and go first. So number one, I'm going with Matthew Stafford. He's won a Super Bowl. I think he's the most talented. Well, I would say Josh Allen's probably a little bit more talented, but I think Matthew Stafford is the one that can trust more right now. He's won a Super Bowl. He's got this team rolling outside of the last game, even though the second half he played a little bit better. But there's high expectations with Matthew Stafford. Everybody's expecting at least the Rams to be right there in the NFC Championship game to vie for a Super Bowl. So I got Matthew Stafford. Number two is going to surprise everybody, but I can't discount this man been to two of the last three Super Bowls. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. Just in the playoffs, he shows up. Regardless of what you think of him in the regular season, in the playoffs, the man shows up. So I think he's going to try to up his game in the playoffs, and I got to go with what I've seen these past few years. He's been to two Super Bowls and won one of them, and he's played well in both of them. So I got to go with it. Number three, I'm going to go with Josh Allen because I think he's the more talented one out of the rest of the crew. So I'm going to go with Josh Allen. He's been to multiple AFC championship games. His only, like we just said, his only kryptonite has been Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes ain't in the playoffs right now. So I got to put him at number three because I think he's the best, especially on the AFC side. He's the best quarterback on the AFC side. So number four, I'm going to go with Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy has been to a Super Bowl. He's been to an NFC champ. He's been in a couple NFC championship games until he got hurt. In one of them. And this San Francisco team, we all know what the San Francisco team represents. So I'm gonna go with Brock Purdy in this game or in this ranking. And then number 5, I'm gonna go with CJ Stroud. I know that sounds crazy, but CJ Stroud, out of all these other quarterbacks, have at least been to the divisional round. And he gets there these past few years. So I gotta go with CJ Stroud. Number 6, I got Justin Herbert. I just think talent-wise, he's better than the rest of the crop that's behind him. So I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. Number 7, I'm going to go with Sunshine. I think he's been playing out of all the quarterbacks most of the quarterbacks, especially on the AFC side, he's been playing the best ball. I can't discount that. Number 8, I'm going to go with the old man, Aaron Rodgers, because he has all the experience in the world. So I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers right here. Number 9, I put Drake May right here because this is his first playoff. I don't know. I got to see it to put him higher. So I'm going to go with Drake May here. Number 10, I got Sam Darnold. We saw what happened last time he was in the playoffs. He didn't play very well. So he's got a lot to prove. Number 11, I got Bryce Young. He's so up and down and inconsistent. You don't know what Bryce Young you're going to get. And the last, and very least, I got Bo Nix. Because I'm sorry. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. I think he wins. I think his defense keeps him in games, and then he makes a few plays in the fourth quarter. He struggled against Trey Lance and that crew. He struggled against Chris Oladokun and third stringers. So in third stringers against the Chargers too. Mm-hmm. And that's got to say something. I'm sorry. That's bad to me. That's supposed to be the number 1 team we scared of, and that's supposed to be the quarterback. Nah, you last on the list, player.
All right, for sure. My number 1, I agree with you, Matthew Stafford. He's the guy I trust the most, and then obviously I think he has the best slot of receivers that's up there. And we've seen him perform in big games. We've seen him win a Super Bowl. So I do like Matthew Stafford at number 1. Number 2, I have Josh Allen. I just think there's no more excuses for him. We've seen him perform high. I know he hasn't won the big game, especially with Patrick Mahomes, but he performed really well. Especially with that 20-second comeback. I forgot how many
13
seconds was left.
13. Man.
My bad. 13. My bad. I added 7 seconds. Man,
don't try to diminish the legend.
Oh my God. I added 7 seconds and everybody
You see what he doing, Mark?
Oh my God. 7 seconds. I had Josh Allen though, because I just don't think there's no more excuses for him. He's playing at an MVP level. I just think he's the second best quarterback. I just don't have any more excuses for him. Number 3, Jalen Hurts. I agree with you. I think he gets a lot of mess talked about him, but in reality, when it comes to these playoffs, he turns into one of the better quarterbacks, maybe the best quarterback to play in these playoffs. We've seen him outperform Patrick Mahomes twice in the Super Bowl. So I got a lot of faith in Jalen Hurts when it comes to these big time games. So, and obviously they got a big game coming up this weekend. Number 4, I agree with you. Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy, again, he's another quarterback that doesn't get a lot of respect, but he is a really good quarterback. I've come around. I know he had a bad game last week, but Brock Purdy has been in a lot of these big games. He's been in a lot of big time playoffs, and he has shown up. We've seen it multiple times before. So I'm going to have Brock Purdy at number 4. Number 5, I got Drake May. I just think that he's one of the hottest quarterbacks to come into these playoffs, and I like what I've seen. I like what's around him, and then I like what I've been seeing. So I'm gonna have faith with him. So I got him at number 5. Number 6, I got Trevor Lawrence. Like again, you know what I mean. I'm glad that Sunshine is back to being Sunshine. He had a couple bad years, and again, we've seen him in the playoffs come back from 30-plus points down against Justin Herbert. So we've seen him be able to not tense up and come back. And the way they've been rolling, he might be the second hottest quarterback coming into the playoffs right now. So I'm going to put Trevor Lawrence at number 6. Number 7, I got Caleb Williams, man. I like what I've been seeing from Caleb.
Jordan. I forgot about Caleb. I forgot about Jordan Love.
You forgot about a lot of guys. Yeah, Cris. Hey, look, it's a long night, man. We're tired, bro. It's a lot. But I got Caleb Williams at number 7, man. I like what Caleb Williams has been doing. He throws some of the best balls I've seen. Some of the angles that he does, like. It's Patrick Mahomes-esque, maybe even a little bit better than Patrick Mahomes. Man. You know what I mean? So I got Caleb Williams at number 7. Number 8, I got Justin Herbert. I know a lot of people big up Justin Herbert. I know a lot of people love Justin Herbert. When it comes to the media, he's like the best quarterback of all time that they've never seen before play. Like, I think they have him ranked higher than Peyton Manning at this point. But I got to see it with Justin Herbert, and especially with all those injuries that he has and around that team. I got my number 8. I think he's still a quality quarterback, but it's something I got to see. I got Sam Darnold at number 9. I love the team that's around him. I just don't trust him per se, but it seems like he did come around ever since that Rams game where they came back from double digits in fourth quarter. Seemed like he has some confidence. We saw it, especially against that Niners game last week where they kind of clinched the division. He looked very, very confident with what was going on. Very clean football play. So I like Sam Darnold, but I still got to see it in the playoffs. Number 10, I got Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, if he was younger, he'll probably be top 3 in this list. But he's older, you know what I mean? He's still playing. I think he's still playing with a broken wrist or something like that. And I just don't love the talent that's around him. The only person they got is DK Metcalf, and all DK Metcalf can do is run straight. So I'm not really a fan. Number 11, Bo Nix. I don't have no faith in Bo. Like, I think arm talent-wise, he's really good, but this offense is just so mediocre. Like, they're very hit or miss. Can they get away with playing three quarters of bad football and then try to win a game in the fourth quarter? I don't know if you can do that in the playoffs. It's very, very tough to do because every mistake is so just magnet times 50 when it comes into the playoffs. So can they do that? I don't know. Jordan Love, everybody knows how I feel about Jordan Love. I'm not the biggest fan of Jordan Love. Just because you throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers don't mean you Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not a fan. So I got him at number 12. Number 13, I got CJ Stroud. I love CJ. I try to love CJ Stroud, but again, this offense is so inconsistent. I just can't trust it at all. This defense is top tier. If we're rating defenses, they might have the number 1 defense, but the offense, I can't get behind, especially with no running game. Their running game is so inconsistent. And if CJ Stroud doesn't have a running game, I think they're very, very predictable. And then number 14, look, it's Bryce Young, man. They're awful. They're awful. I don't know how they made the playoffs, but they did. So shout out to Bryce Young, but you're the worst of the 14.
I put Jordan Love and Caleb Williams in between Trevor Lawrence and Aaron Rodgers at like 7 and 8.
Okay. That's pretty much where I have him at, pretty much. So just know, Bears fans and Packers fans, like he doesn't really think highly of your quarterbacks because he totally forgot to put them on the list.
That's spaced. That's spaced.
Yeah,
My bad, y'all.
He don't fuck with y'all, man. Sorry.
Players fuck up sometimes. All right, man. It's time for Maul's random news, man.
Yeah, man.
It is now time for Maul's random news.
All right, y'all. This is our favorite topic, Chris's favorite topic. You know what I mean? We hear talk about random news that normally isn't on the main stage, but we love to hear Chris's opinions about this stuff. Obviously, we're not going to take it too long, man. We're pretty late right now, so we ain't gonna run too late. But we'll get my man's opinions, even though he's half awake right now. So, sir, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First up, seems like the Warriors are still trying to keep on to Jonathan Kuminga past the deadline. Team sources have said in recent days that they'd be willing to keep Kuminga past the deadline if nothing appealing enough materializes. That could be a strategic posture, as it's certainly a risk considering Kuminga making $22.5 million this season is currently buried in Coach Steve Kerr's rotation, having played 10 total minutes in the past month. What are the Warriors doing? Should they just go ahead and trade Jonathan Kuminga? Because as time keeps going, they keep devaluing him and his trade value.
Yes, they should have been did this. What are they doing, man? It's obvious Steve Kerr don't like dude. So go on, trade him. Get something for him and move on. Why do we I don't get certain teams why they hold teams, players hostage and whatever. What's the point? Let him go. Y'all hold on to Draymond.
They could have got a first round pick for Jonathan Kuminga from the Kings, and the Kings don't even want to give the first round pick anymore because that's how much they devalued him as a trade asset. So I don't know what they're doing. All right, next up, Mavericks minority owner and Indiana alum Mark Cuban has made another donation to the school's athletic department ahead of the Hoosiers college football playoff semifinal, a matchup against Oregon per Front Office Sports. Cuban had never donated directly to the athletic department until 2024, but his connection with Curt Cignetti and the team's success last year was a factor in his decision to contribute. My question to you is, now that Mark Cuban has officially started donating to his alma mater, how much do you think that improves Indiana's chances of turning this into a powerhouse?
A lot, man, because that $1 billion is coming, player. You know what I'm saying? See what Texas Tech is over there doing. They got a billionaire over there spending money. So, hey, that's what you got to have. You got an alumni that's a billionaire. You got something going for y'all, because y'all got to pay these players, man. You see Indiana, they already got their quarterback for next year in Hoover. So they added some other offensive and defensive pieces. So Indiana ain't going nowhere, man. As long as Curt Cignetti's there, they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up, seems like we got some portal controversy in college football. Demon Williams originally agreed with Washington to sign there. Now has wanted to, I guess, re-enter the portal after signing the agreement with Washington. It included a provision prohibiting him from entering the transfer portal per Ross Dellinger. The school is now refusing to officially enter his name into the transfer portal database. What do you make of this circumstances with Demon Williams? Who's in the right, who's in the wrong, and what do you think?
It's Williams. You signed the contract, player, that prevented you from going into the transfer portal. It sounded like you was trying to get over, man. Sounded like you was trying to get a little paper, and then you was trying to enter the transfer portal and get some more money from somebody else. And then maybe that was your parents that did that advised you. Maybe it was your agent. But you look bad in this situation, dog. And now you in a rock and a hard place, because now they probably don't want you no more. So they're probably going to rip up this contract, and you're not going to get that money. And then no other team is going to want you because this looks bad on you. So you kind of messed yourself over, player. Now you're going to have to take a deal with somebody else that's probably a lower level team, and I don't know where it's going to put you. So, hey, you tried it. It didn't work. You got to move on.
Yeah, you pretty much played yourself. And yeah, your University of Washington, I think, is supposed to have a good football team next year. And again, I don't know, man. I just think the Huskies don't have to let him go, because it's just, how can he lead this team with his teammates knowing that he wanted to leave anyway? You know what I mean? It's kind of hard. So, all right, next up, over 450 bags containing human remains have been discovered near Akron Stadium in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. This stadium is confirmed as one of the venues for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which will take place this summer. What are your thoughts with this? Should FIFA step in and change the location, or what should they do?
No comment. I don't want no parts of this. I have no comment on whatever you guys got going on out there. I'm on my business.
Yeah, I'm just letting y'all know. Hey, look, listen here. Look. I just read this on Daily Loud. Yo, if y'all got a problem with it, go holler at Daily Loud. I'm just reading what they did, so don't come after me. But prayers up. Next up, the third Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer was leaked online in a much higher quality, offering fans a much closer look at Professor X, Magneto, and Cyclops. Not sure if you watched it, but if you did, what were your thoughts on the trailer? Does this get you more excited about the Avengers movie?
Man, just drop a real trailer, man. Damn.
We know what they doing. They ain't gonna drop the trailer until Super Bowl. We know what's up.
They said it's the week of the Super Bowl, but these little clips and shit, man.
Does this make you more excited for the movie?
America's gonna return. Thor is gonna return. Duh, motherfucker. You know. You told us already when you had the little chairs lined up of all the actors in the damn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Still answer the question. Does it make you more excited or not?
No, I'm already excited. I'm all in. I'm all in. Doomsday, Dr. Doom, they better do it right. Dr. Doom, I have a theory on there too. But Dr. Doom, let's go.
The Cyclops part looked fire. That shit was fire. I know it's just him beaming.
Hopefully, they represent Cyclops right.
Hopefully,
they be making dude look like a chump. In all the X-Men movies, he was look like a pump.
Is Wolverine going to be in this? Is Gambit going to be in this?
They said all of them going to be in it. Dude,
I can't wait.
All of them.
All right, for sure. It's going to be fire. I can't wait. All right, next up, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has denied the age trademark for Las Vegas Athletics and Vegas Athletics. The USPTO found the trademarks primarily geographically descriptive, meaning they are not eligible for registration. What are your thoughts with this, knowing that the Las Vegas Athletics cannot trademark Las Vegas Athletics or Vegas Athletics?
Change the name, player. You gonna have to change the whole name because this ain't good. Don't y'all think y'all should have did that before you bought the team?
God, man.
What the hell are they doing, man? Don't y'all think y'all should have did that before? Why y'all doing that just now?
Yeah.
I think that's something y'all should have just did your research on, looked into. Hey, we about to try to buy the Athletics. Let's see if we can trademark. Nah, you can't.
Yeah.
We might change the name, dog. Or maybe not just buy it.
Yeah, they have to fork up some cash to whoever has that. I don't know, man.
The Las Vegas baseball team. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the Washington football team. Yeah, all right, man. That's crazy. All right, man. A couple more. Next up, Sega co-founder David Rosen has passed away at the age of 95. Describes as the founding father of the Japanese arcade scene. His family confirmed he died on December 25th. So with his passing, my question to you is, what was your favorite Sega console and what was your favorite Sega video game?
Sega Genesis. And favorite game? Man, it's difficult. There's so many of them. You got to go with Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Sonic is a classic, especially Sonic 2.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage too. Mark, remember we used to play Streets of Rage when we was kids, man? Yeah, man. Streets of Rage is up there. That soundtrack of Streets of Rage is always top tier. I'm trying to think. Eternal Champions. It's just so many games, man. Sega Genesis was always the better. I was a Nintendo guy, but Sega Genesis was right up there. You know what I'm saying? They had some great games.
Yeah. All right, man. And last but not least, this one I know Cris is gonna do it again. I already know. But Grand Theft Auto 6 reportedly has Rockstar unsure if they will make the November 2026 release date. Content in the game is not complete. Developers are still finalizing missions and making cuts for the final game. Rockstar will rather let release dates slip than release in an incomplete state. VIA Jason Schreier unbutton mash. Go ahead, Cris. I'll leave it to you. You kind of spoke this into fruition, so go ahead, say your piece, man.
I ain't got nothing to say, man. I told y'all, man. I told y'all that shit wasn't coming out when they said it was coming out, man. They lying to y'all. They trolling us. They doing this shit on purpose. Dog. I think y'all should boycott GTA 6. That shit coming out. That shit is coming out when PlayStation 6 comes out. Bottom line. They think they slick. They ain't slick.
Listen here, man. There's a lot of great video games coming out. There's a lot of great video games I still haven't played. So I still got to play Ghost of Tsushima. I saw Metal Gear Solid Snake Eaters on sale. I'm probably going to buy that. Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm about to purchase that. That's on sale. The game I'm most anticipating in these first couple months is Resident Evil. I can't wait for that game. Comes out next month. And then I was disappointed that 007 didn't get delayed until summertime. That sucked. It was coming out on my birthday, but it is going to come out. And there's some other games coming out as well. So am I disappointed? Hopefully at the end of the day, Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar, look, listen here, bro. Just stop saying dates, bro. Just stop saying dates. Like, don't confirm a date until you know actually when it's going to come out, because it's getting to the point where people are just fed up. And then I get it. Like, I think the lust and desire of the game is going to take a lull. And I get it. Once the real release date comes and it gets released, like, everybody's going to hop on the game. I don't think it's going to hurt sales or anything like that. But I think people are just going to be highly critical of the game. You know what I mean? They're going to find things to bitch about it because of just all the bullshit that you keep starting, stopping, and getting people's hopes up for this game. When, I try to not listen to Cris, because I just think that he's just a negative person, and he doesn't.
I'm not negative. I just keep it real over here,
and he just doesn't want to see any positivity in this world. Me personally, I try to be ignorant. I try to be positive. I want this game to succeed. I want this game to come out. But look, Cris is right. This game isn't coming out anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come out 2027. Look, at this point, it's not going to come out until Batman 2 comes out. So that's around 2028. We might be done with Avengers Doomsday by then. So just lock in. There's other games coming out, man. So yeah, shit. Fight Night round 7 might be out by then. You know what I mean? Before then. So at the end of the day, man, there's other games that's coming out. I know a lot of people are excited for Grand Theft Auto 6, like me. Everybody's main thing is just make sure we excited. I just don't play in my face. Yeah, hopefully we don't go to like World War III before this game comes out. We may never play this game. So and if that's the case, if we go to World War III, this game is gonna get delayed for another 15 years. So it just is what it is, man.
Never coming out with World War III.
Yeah, maybe. But that's it, man. That's all I got for the short rendition of Random News. We'll be back next week.
And Mark, about Rashid Rice, I got no comment.
Oh yeah, I saw that. My man been whooping some ass.
I heard some stuff, but
are they gonna release him?
No, because there was no police report. What I heard is my man, and this is another conversation of his relationship choices. But supposedly he's dating Ruby Rose. And she announced it, and then those pictures came in. So that's all I got.
Oh, you know what? I got more. Hold up. I got more with Grand Theft Auto 6. Let me read this. All right. So again, the last he heard, the game was not content complete. He believes it's really hard to say right now if the game will release in November, and doesn't think anyone at Rockstar is 100% certain they'll make it. This release date feels a little bit more real than fall 2025 or May 2026 did. Developers are still finalizing missions, adding stuff, and deciding what makes it into the final game. He hopes they're done with that soon so they can start the bug fixing phase. Rockstar can't settle for anything less than perfection, as the stakes are high. The entire stock of Take-Two lives or dies on this game. They would rather let it slip again than release it in a compromised state. Take-Two's fiscal year ends late March 2027, so they have a little bit of buffer if they still want to release the game in the same fiscal year. He says PlayStation is the main platform for the game, and Sony is planning its entire lineup around it. So I'll say this. I think we will officially know if this game is going to come out in the fall, because during summer, that's when PlayStation, Xbox, and all these guys start releasing the info on their games that are coming out in the wintertime. If that slate is bare, I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will come out. If they do announce a lot of games coming out during the winter, I think the way it's looking, I think they will push it till next March 2027. And I think that will be the official date, will be March 2027. It seems like they're just trying to figure out the final details on how they want to finish this game. And then hopefully they can get into the bug fixing phase. And then that's when I think they'll start really repping up. But I think we'll tell. I think it'll tell a lot this summer when they have like their summer game fest and all that, and see what games get announced. Like if they're big time games that they were considering pushing back into the spring or first fiscal year of like 2027, like around March, April, and if they get pushed up to like December, November, like Christmas time, I think that would give us a good idea that the most likely Grand Theft Auto isn't going to come out till 2027 spring. So I think that would be kind of the next key thing for Grand Theft Auto 6. But I think it's going to come out within no later than next March. The way it's...
Look, that's fine and all. If y'all wanted to make it perfection, that's all y'all had to keep telling.
Yeah, just don't give us a date. Just don't give us a date. That's all we're saying.
You should have never gave us a date in the first place. Look, we trying to make this game perfect for y'all. We trying to work the bugs out. We don't want no issues.
People understand.
So we're not gonna drop no date. TBD.
How old were you when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out?
I don't know. When did it come out?
Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in GTA 5 September 17th, 2013. Man. That was almost 23 years. That was almost 13 years ago.
I was 31.
I was 25. Yeah, I was no, she is 24. No, what's it? Yeah, 24. I was 24 years old.
Yeah, I was 31.
Damn.
That was in the second year of my job.
So if it comes out in 2027, I'll be almost 14 years. So GTA, you better enjoy GTA 6, bro, because by the time GTA 8 come out or 7, that shit gonna take like 30 years for that thing to come out.
Might as well just forget it. All right, man. Let's go ahead and do our Wildcard Weekend Playoff.
Let's do it, man. It's almost midnight, my brother.
All right, y'all. So Saturday, we got two games. 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. We got the LA Rams traveling to the Carolina Panthers on Fox. This is going to be the first game. It's 1:30 out here in Vegas. Look, man, there should be no reason why the Rams shouldn't win this game. I know Carolina beat them weeks ago. I think they was overlooking them. I don't think the Rams are going to overlook them this time. I think Devontae Adams will be back. I don't think this game is going to be particularly close. I got the Rams winning 35-17.
I agree with you. This will be the upset of the whole playoffs if the Panthers are finding a way to win this game. Like the Rams are just the better team. Puka, you get Devontae Williams back. I love the running core combination of Blake Corum and Kyron Williams. This defensive line is really getting at it. I just don't trust Bryce Young in his offense. I'm going Rams. I'm gonna go. Let's go 31-13.
Then you got the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game, 5 p.m. here. Green Bay Packers traveling to Chicago. This game could be very interesting. We all know how these division games roll. I know a lot of people make, they still qualms about Jordan Love. Some people make their qualms about Caleb Williams too. So I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears because I think that they're running in with the momentum. I think that they're feeling good. We don't know how healthy Jordan Love is coming into this game. He has not been healthy coming into this game. So we don't know. I still think it's going to be a close game because it is a division game. I got Chicago winning 35-31.
No, I think this is going to live up to the NFC North motto. I think they're supposed to get snow. I think it's going to be an interesting view. Obviously, rival games, they're always tough to kind of predict. But I do think the Bears are the better team. Only thing that may concern me is just the experience level in these big games. Obviously, this is Caleb Williams' first playoff game. Jordan Love has been in these instances before. But look, man, no Micah Parsons. I would feel a little bit more confident if the Packers had Micah Parsons, like that guy that kind of can close the game out. But they don't have that guy. their defense is kind of hit or miss. This offense is kind of hit or miss. Jordan Love is injured to a degree. I think just Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, the creativity, the opportunistic defense that they have. I like the Bears winning. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, especially with the weather. Let's go 20-14. You can go Bears.
Then you got 3 games on Sunday, starting off with the 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game. You got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is riding high right now. They're coming in with probably the most momentum out of all the teams coming into the playoffs right now. They've been beating everybody up by double digits. So they're feeling themselves right now. Buffalo Bills, they've been kind of up and down coming into the playoffs. But, we are not making no excuses for Josh Allen. He is supposed to be the better quarterback. He has a great running back. Sean McDermott has been in these instances before. And he is supposed to be the one to win this game. But I'm not picking Buffalo. I'm picking Jacksonville because I think I just think they are feeling themselves. I think their crowd's going to be rocking. I'm going Jacksonville 31-24.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at your pick. But the NFL is going to step in. They're going to help your boy Josh Allen. They're going to help this Buffalo Bills team. They're going to find a way to get the Bills to win this game against the Jaguars. Again, look, man, NFL, they want Josh Allen to make the Super Bowl. They want Josh Allen to make this Super Bowl because they have no one else to depend on in this AFC. Josh Allen is a star. Buffalo has not been to the Super Bowl in a very long time. This fan base would generate great viewership because there's Bills fans all over the world. They're gonna find a way. I'm gonna say the Bills win. I'm gonna say they win in a controversial fashion. That gets them a 3-point win. Let's go 31-28 Buffalo Bills.
Then you got the afternoon game. You got San Francisco 49ers traveling to Philadelphia. San Francisco didn't look too good against the Seahawks. Philadelphia, they're hitting their stride right when they need to. Look, man, I just think the Eagles' defense is the best unit on the field right now. I know San Francisco have their moments when they can't score, and Brock Purdy has had his great moments. But I trust the Eagles defense just a little bit more than what I see from San Francisco. And I think it's going to be a tough game because, we know how that Eagles offense is. They just do just enough to win games. So I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. But I got the Eagles 21-17.
Yeah, I just think the Niners, if they were healthy enough, I think they could beat this Eagles team. I just think they're missing too many bodies. I think they lost one of their then they lose like another linebacker or cornerback or something last week. He's out for this year. George Kittle, he's playing, but he's still kind of limping. Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, we got to see if Trent Williams is able to play with that hamstring. Ricky Purcell with his injury. I'm assuming those guys are going to try to play because it's the playoffs, but I just think the Niners are just too banged up. Eagles are completely healthy, fully loaded. And then this is the time where Jalen Hurts pretty much shines. Saquon Barkley, you got Tank Bigsby, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. This team is loaded. Jalen Carter is healthy. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I don't even think it's close. I think they win by double digits. I'm going to go, let's go Eagles. Let's go 28-13.
Then we got the Sunday night game. The Chargers traveling to New England. Chargers last few weeks have been okay. They've been fine. But the Patriots have been looking like they've been playing pretty good going into the playoffs. Drake May's probably top for winning MVP. That New England crowd is going to be rocking. They're in the playoffs. They're going to be feeling good. I'm going with the Patriots. I just don't trust that offensive line for the Chargers. And I think Herbert's going to possibly struggle in this game a little bit. He might throw a pick to give the Patriots an extra possession. I think their running game is going to run that defense down and get them tired out. And I got the Patriots winning 34-24.
Yeah, this game is kind of tough. Obviously, certain people from the outside looking in will be like, "Oh, this should be an easy win for the Patriots." But look, man, this is a hardball coach team. They're going to play tough. Justin Herbert, look, he still has a lot to prove in the playoffs, but he's been here before. Drake May has not. You still got experience with like Keenan Allen and certain guys like that. But and I do like the running attack of Amarion Hampton. He seems like he's been coming on pretty well, especially coming off of that ankle fracture. But I'm gonna go with the Patriots, man. I just think they're just a better team. I think Drake May is playing at an MVP level with the combination of Ramondre Stevenson and Trevion Henderson. I like that. That defense is young but pretty good. And then at home, night game, I like it. I think it's gonna be a closer game than certain people may give it aspect for. I'm gonna go 24-20. It's gonna be a close game. I think the Patriots are gonna have to win it down at the end, but it's gonna be a good game. I'm looking forward to watching this one.
And then you got Monday Night Football. You got the Houston Texans traveling to Pittsburgh to battle the Steelers. DK Metcalf will be back in this game. Look, man, I don't know what to pick in this game because I thought the Ravens was gonna mud stomp the Steelers without DK in the offense, and
they were. The coaching staff fucked it up.
Yeah, but still, it's just I don't know. Yeah, I trust the Houston Texans defense is the most trustworthy unit on this field because I don't even trust the offense of Houston. But I'm gonna go Houston wins this game 24-10.
Yeah, I just think this Houston defense is just too tough. Even with DK Metcalf come back, even with DK Metcalf there, they're still like a middle of the road pack offense. They really still aren't that good. The Steelers last week, they did get a somewhat decent running attack with Jalen Warren. He had a couple big plays. I don't know if they can get that against this Houston Texans defense. This Houston Texans defense, if it's not the best, it's definitely top 2 as far as like the remaining teams in the playoffs. But I think they're easily competing with the Seahawks as far as like the best defense going out, maybe the Eagles as well. But I'm gonna go with the Texans, man. Even though I don't trust this offense and this running attack, I just think this defense is too good. I think it's gonna give Aaron Rodgers trouble. He's old. It's hard for him to kind of flee, from any kind of pressure. And I think he's gonna cause a couple turnovers. And I'm gonna go with the Texans. I think they win 23-17. But I think the Steelers are gonna be rocking. But I do not need to hear show gloating or waving the towel. I just don't need that, bro, in my life. Let's start off 2026 in the positive way.
All right, man. That does it for Wildcard Weekend, man.
Yep.
Let's see. Mark, he got Rams 30-10, Bears 27-17. No, LaFleur will not have his job. Jacksonville 30-24. So you got kind of similar score to me. San Francisco 27. Oh, you got San Francisco beating the Eagles 2017. Okay, I see you, Mark. Patriots 28-17 and Texans 24-20. Steelers. Okay, Steelers. All right. I ain't mad at you, Mark. I ain't mad at you at all, sir. I know San Francisco is your pick, so you got to stick to your guns.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't trust that defense, man. I don't. They got too many injuries, man. If Fred Warner was out there, yeah, sure. Nick Bosa, of course. That's a team that should have made some moves on their defensive side. All right, man. You got anything else?
Yeah, I just want to say prayers out to Renee Nicole Good, the young woman that was shot and killed by the ICE agent. I do want to say prayers to her. Look, man, this shit. Look, if you're not angry about this situation, you don't have a soul, dog. This shit is getting crazy. So I'm not gonna get too much into it. I have my own thoughts. This is not the place or platform to do that. But I just want to say, Renee Nicole Good, prayers out to you, prayers out to your family, prayers out to your kids. Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Look, man, it's late, so I ain't about to do no long draw.
Y'all know what's up, man. BetUS. If y'all want to donate, y'all know what's up. We love y'all.
Subscribe to the channel.
We'll see y'all Monday, man.
We'll be back at Monday, 10 a.m.
Enjoy football this weekend.
Yeah, man. We'll be back with all
Mark,
this stuff.
We appreciate you again, my brother, for always being in the chat. You are the MVP of this show. We definitely gonna figure out, man. We gotta do something special for you, my brother. We definitely got to, man.
Mark, you gotta pull up on the show.
Yeah, man. Just come on the show, bro. Come on the show, man.
Yeah, pull up on the show
whenever you. Pull up on the show, man. When you got time, man. Come on the show, man. Let's talk, brother. Let's talk.
If you're free on Monday at 10 a.m., let me know. If you're free till next Wednesday, jump on the show.
Whenever, brother. We'll figure something out, man.
Yeah. Let me know. Well, if you're free Monday, 10 a.m., let me know. If you're free, if it's Wednesdays is better for you at 9-ish p.m., then let me know.
Yeah. Should be better next week. I don't know what's going on next week, but it should be better.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right, y'all. Until Monday, we are out.
Love.
That was stupid. Nick.